Trusted voice for accurate news. Your home for world-class entertainment, exciting sports, and everything that matters. We are Hyper
Sounds like an
102.7
Indian song.
FM, the price of the people.
Continue.
9 o'clock.
Continue. 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 Continue.
Yes, a beautiful Friday morning to you listeners out there, and welcome to In the Papers on iPower 102.7 FM. This is a segment where we take a look at the major stories making headlines across Nigeria and around the world, from politics to business to society to sports. We bring you highlights, the conversations, and the issues shaping our day. So stay with us as we go through today's newspaper and break down the stories that matter most. My name is Inioluwa Adekoya, and you're still tuned to iPower 102.7 FM. And this morning I've got the Oak newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, and the Nation newspaper. Right about now, we will take a short break. When we get back, we'll give you the headlines making rounds in the papers this morning. Welcome back, welcome back. You're still listening to In the Papers on iPower 102.7 FM, where we bring you major headlines making waves across the country. Beginning on the top of the list of our headlines this morning from the Oak newspaper. UNIMED partners Canadian Education Council for Global Skills. Still on the Oak newspaper this morning. NPF announces screening schedule for Osun Police recruitment candidates. Yes, still on the Oak newspaper, Eba Island belongs to Ondo, Ajulo affirms after UK archive probe. Yes, still on the Oak newspaper, MPF inaugurates housing units in Ekiti to boost operations. And now I take a flight to the Punch newspaper. DIG Umba others retire 7 AIGs for promotion. Still on the Punch newspaper, Iran missile barrage sparks explosion over Tel Aviv. Still on the Punch newspaper, marketers Dangote trade words over petrol prices. Still on the Punch newspaper, and SARS protesters regain freedom after 6-year detention. Still on the Punch newspaper, U.S. court jails Nigerian 6 years for $5 million COVID-19 fraud. Still on the Punch newspaper, from Borno, hundreds still missing after Boko Haram attack. Yes, and now to the Daily Post newspaper. Stop shunning our recruitment exercise. Nigerian Army urges Southeast youths. Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, El Rufai, an unrepentant tyrant oppressor, says DG Adekoya. Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu urges Nigerians to drop entitlement mentality. They are telling Christians to convert or die. U.S. lawmakers react to deadly attacks by terrorists. Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, Electoral Act does not benefit Nigerians, says IPAC. Yes, still on the Nation newspaper, Tinubu campaign's body give 11 million naira rice as Ramadan gifts. Yes, still on the Nation newspaper, youth unemployment fueling banditry and terrorism. Still on the Nation newspaper, residents seeks government help in gas plant operation. And finally, on the Nation newspaper, Tinubu's economic reforms yielding measurable results, says Information Minister Idris. Yes, right about now, we'll take another short break. When we get back, we'll give you more headlines and news making rounds in the papers this morning. Welcome back to In the Papers right here on iPower 102.7 FM. We're taking a look on stories making the front page this morning. And on the top of the list of the stories this morning from the old newspaper, Eba Island belongs to Ondo, Ajulo affirms after UK archive probe. And now to the details. The Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice of Ondo State, Dr. Olukayode Ajilowo has issued a detailed defense of Ondo State ownership of Eba Island, presenting extensive historical, legal, and geographical evidence to counter recent claims by Ogun State. Ajilowo, while briefing the press, said the dispute over oil-rich island was astonishing, given that all official records and decades of administration had long recognized it as Ondo's territory. He had this to say, he said, and I speak as one who has served Ondo State with distinction and has first-hand recognition of Eba Island as part of our territory. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and other federal agencies, the island on multiple occasions and without equivocational recognized it as belonging to Ondo State. Yet today, Ogun State lay claims to it. What has changed? Ajilowo disclosed that the claims prompted a personal investigation to verify the truth. He said, I undertook a solo forensic study in the United Kingdom, consulting the British Library and the National Archives, Art Kew, and other repositories of colonial records. I examined original treaties, maps, intelligence sketches, cadastral surveys, and gazette's notice. Each document confirmed that Eba Island is an integral part of Atijere in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State. He posited, if that story aligns with your interest, it is on the old newspaper with the headline, Eba Island belongs to Ondo, Ajilowo affirms after UK archive probe. Yes, still on the old newspaper, MPF announces screening schedule for Osun police recruitment candidate. And now to the details. The Nigerian Police Force has announced the timetable for the physical and credential screening of the candidates of Osun State who applied for the ongoing nationwide recruitment of 50,000 police constables. The announcement was made by the Osun State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Gota, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police. He stated that the exercise will take place from March 9 to April 18, 2026. According to the police command, the screening will be held at the police headquarters along Ring Road in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Activities will begin each day at 7 a.m. The exercise is strictly for applicants of Osun State origin who successfully completed the online registration stage of the recruitment process. Candidates have also been advised to visit the official recruitment portal of the Nigerian Police Force to confirm their application status and print their invitation slip, which will contain details of the screening table and the specific time for the exercise. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the old newspaper with the headline, MPF announces screening schedule for Osun police recruitment candidates. Yes, still on the old newspaper, Kano Assembly begins impeachment process against Deputy Governor Gwazo. And now to the details. Alleging gross misconduct, abuse of office, and breach of public trust, the Kano State House of Assembly has commenced impeachment proceedings against the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Aminu Abdusalam Gwazo. The impeachment notice was presented on Assembly floor by the Majority Leader, Lawan Hussein Dala, who said the action complied with Section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. He said that the impeachment notice contains several allegations linked to Gwazo's tenure as Commissioner for Local Government between 2023 and 2024, as well as his current role as Deputy Governor. Dalla said the allegation border on diversion of local government funds, abuse of office, and other actions considered impeachable under the Constitution. He further alleged that while serving as Commissioner for Local Government and overseeing the administration of State 4 Local Government Council, the Deputy Governor participated in diverting funds meant for local government operations. The impeachment notice also accused the Deputy Governor of abuse of office. Dalla explained that gross misconduct includes grave violation of constitutional provisions or other serious wrongdoings by the public office holder. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Open newspaper with the headline, Kano Assembly begins impeachment process against Deputy Governor Gwazo. Yes, and now I take a flight to the Punch newspaper. DIG Umba, others retire, 7 AIGs for promotion. And now to the details. A Deputy Inspector General of Police, Frank Umba, alongside several other senior officers, will be retiring from the Nigerian Police Force following recent changes in the leadership of the force. This is just as 7 Assistant Inspector General of Police have been slated for promotion to the rank of Deputy Inspector General of Police. The exit of Umba and other DIGs followed the exit of former Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and the confirmation of Tunji Disu as the new Inspector General of Police. Disu was sworn in on Wednesday as the 23rd indigenous IGP. The sources of the force headquarters said the IGs had been preparing to leave but were waiting for the signal which had yet to come. A statement further reads, and I quote, "The DIGs are very ready to leave, but they are waiting for signals. Many of them had moved their belongings from their offices in anticipation of their retirement. Maybe when the AIG slated for promotion comes, they will leave," one of the sources told Newsman. Another source said 7 AIGs are slated to visit the Police Service Commission on Friday for the promotion exams, paving the way for the retirement of Umba and others. The PSC spokesman, Toti Kalu, did not deny or confirm when contacted. MBA, one of the DIGs set for retirement, is a trained lawyer. He obtained a law degree from the University of Lagos and was called to the Nigerian Bar Association in 2002 after attending the Nigerian Law School Abuja. He later earned his master's degree in law and distinction from the University of Dundee in Scotland. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Punch newspaper with the headline, DIG Umba, others retire, 7 AIGs from promotion. Still on the Punch newspaper, Iran missiles barrage sparks explosion over Tel Aviv. And now to the details. The latest Iranian missile barrage sparked a wave of explosions across Tel Aviv as firefighters worked to contain a blaze at the residential building near Israel Commercial Hub today. The blast came after Israel expanded its campaign against Hezbollah, vowing retribution against the Tehran-backed militant group for joining the conflict following the killings on Saturday of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Iran's state broadcaster said Tehran had fired missiles against targets in the heart of Tel Aviv after the Israel military said it was working to intercept incoming Iranian fire late Thursday. AFP journalists in Tel Aviv had two near simultaneous waves of explosion reverberating across the state. Rockets trail also lit up in the sky in Netanya, a city north of Tel Aviv on Israel Mediterranean coast. After the barrage, Israel Emergency Service, the Magen David Adom MDA, said its team had visited several reported impact sites, but there were no casualties. Israel police said it was currently handling scenes involving falling projectiles in the central Israel, adding that there was damage but no injuries. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Punch newspaper with the headline, Iran missile barrage sparks explosion over Tel Aviv. Yes, still on the Punch newspaper, talking US-Iran war. Marketers Dangote trade words over petrol price. And now to the details. Amid the escalating tensions in the Middle East, data from the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria has shown that a litre of imported petrol is about 64 naira cheaper than the one produced by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. However, the refinery debunked the reports, challenging imposters. However, the refinery debunked the reports, challenging importers to defy the ongoing airstrikes in the Middle East and bring in petroleum products. The Punch reported that recently that Dangote refinery increased its gantry price from 774 naira to 874 naira. The adjustment followed the jump in oil prices to $84 per barrel upon from below $70 days before the airstrike involving the United States, Iran, Israel, and other countries. Following the increment, filling stations on Tuesday raised their pump price to as high as 937 naira, depending on the location before the Middle East crisis deepened over the weekend. Some filling stations had already been selling petrol at prices ranging between 812 naira and 839 naira, but the crisis disrupted the global fuel market, affecting Nigerians and other countries. However, data by Neyman indicated Dangote petrol gantry price was 874 naira per litre as of Monday, while the London cost of imported petrol was 809 naira per litre, showing the difference of about 64 naira between the two sources. Neyman also reported that Dangote diesel price is 1,100 169 naira, while imported diesel was 1,125 naira per litre. However, officials of the Dangote refinery, who did not want to be mentioned because of the sensitivity of the matter, said some importers were projecting a false narrative to ensure the federal government continues to issue import licenses. He said, and I quote, anybody can go to a papa and get the landing cost, and anybody who should go to Iran and import. Some people just want to depend on imports. Isn't it time we end the dependency on foreign products? Some people want importation to continue. That's not normal. You keep importing what can be produced locally. Is that a good thing? How do you expect our children to survive? Nigeria will import and destroy what we have locally, an official stated. Aside from pricing, another official said Nigeria should be thankful that Dangote refinery for shielding the country from a few crises that could have paralyzed commercial activities. In his report, Merman further explained that the downstream sector saw a major upward price adjustment on Monday, driven by the Dangote refinery raising its gantry price by 100 naira, bringing it to 874 naira per litre. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Punch newspaper with the headline, Marketers Dangote trade word over petrol prices. Yes, the program you're still onto is in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. Right about now, we'll take a short break. When we get back, we'll give you more headlines and more news making rounds in the papers this morning. Welcome back. Like we said earlier, the program you're onto is in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. Continuing on the Punch newspaper, and SARS protesters regained freedom after 6-year detention. And now to the details. A Lagos-based advocacy group, the Take It Back movement, has announced the release of Rashid Wasiu, who was detained following its participation in the 2020 NSAS protest. The NSAS protest, which began on October 2020, was a nationwide youth-led demonstration against the police brutality, particularly the activities of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The protest drew thousands of young Nigerians to the streets and were marked by the clashes in some states, mass arrests, and allegations of human rights violation. In a statement signed recently, Coordinator Adekunle Adeyemi Taofik had obtained by newsmen, the group said Wasiu regained his freedom on Wednesday, the 4th of March, after the Lagos court struck out his case. According to the group, the development ended nearly 6 years of detention. The statement described the development as a significant breakthrough in its sustained campaign for the release of persons arrested in connection with the protest. Today marks yet another milestone in our ongoing struggle for justice, as the case of Rashid Wasil was officially struck out, restoring his long-awaited freedom. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Punch newspaper with the headline, "And SARS protester gains freedom after 6 years detention." Yes, the time has come for you to call in to react to any of the stories read out to you. And the number to call is 0816 552 4699. 0816 552 4699. And still on the Punch newspaper with U.S. courts jails Nigerian 6 years for $5 million COVID-19 fraud. And now to the details. A United States District Court has sentenced a 34-year-old Nigerian, Adekoya Babatunde Salako, to 6.5 years in imprisonment for his role in a $5 million COVID-19 pandemic relief fraud. Recent reports from a statement published on the website of the United States Department of Justice that Salako, who resided in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was handed a 78-month federal prison term after pleading guilty to wire fraud conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy. The statement added that as part of the plea agreement, Salako also agreed to plead guilty to 7 additional counts of wire fraud in the District of Alaska. He noted that the court further ordered him to pay $2 million in restitution to victims of the fraud. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Punch newspaper with the headline, U.S. court jails Nigerian 6 years for $5 million COVID-19 fraud. Yes, like I said earlier, the number to call for comments and contributions to any of the stories and any of the news and headlines read out to your listening pleasure is 0816 552 4699. 0816 552 4699. And now to the Daily Post newspaper. Senate frowns at 5.9 billion naira spent on NNPC rebranding. And now to the details. The Senate Committee on Public Accounts has raised serious concerns about the 5.9 billion naira reportedly spent on the rebranding of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, while also questioning financial discrepancies amounting to about 210 trillion naira. The chairman of the committee, Inioluwa Adekoya, made these remarks during the public hearing while lawmakers questioned the financial records of the National Oil Company. Wadada criticized the amount spent on transition from NNPC to NNPCL, describing it as excessive. If queried, he said, and I quote, "In this day and age, we will comprehend such figure being expended just to change the name of NNPC to NNPCL. According to the documents reviewed by the committee, NNPC reportedly spent about 2.9 billion naira in incorporation expenses sourced from the petroleum product process, while the National Petroleum Investigation Management Service (NAPIMS) also charged 2.9 billion naira against crude oil revenue for the same purpose. But Dada said that the duplication resulted in a combined total of about 5.9 billion naira being spent on incorporations. He said Michaels and NNPC paid 2.9 billion naira for incorporation expenses from petroleum product process, while NAPIMS also charged 2.9 billion against crude oil revenue for the same purpose. This resulted in a combined total of 5.9 billion naira being expended for incorporations by NNPCL. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, "Senate frowns at 5.9 billion naira spent on NNPC's rebranding." Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, talking Borno attack. Nigerians slaughtered daily while politicians plot for 2027, says Peter Obi. And now to the details. Former presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi has decried the continued killings by the terrorists in Nigeria, accusing political leaders of prioritizing the struggle for power ahead of the 2027 elections instead of addressing the country's worsening insecurity. Obi made these remarks recently in a post on X while reacting to recent terrorist attacks in Ngoshi community in Borno State, which reportedly targeted a military base, an internally displaced persons IDP camp. The former governor of Anambra State said the attack claimed the lives of both civilians and soldiers, while many others remain missing. According to him, he watched several videos of the incident with deep horror, describing the tragedy of another painful reminder of the suffering many Nigerians endure daily. Obi further criticized political leaders for focusing on political calculations ahead of the 2027 general elections, while insecurity continues to claim lives across the country. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, "Nigerians slaughtered daily while politicians plot for 2027, says Peter Obi." Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, El-Rufai, an unrepentant tyrant, oppressor, says Deji Adeyanju. And now to the details. Activist lawyer Deji Adeyanju has described former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai as an unrepentant tyrant and oppressor. Adeyanju said if El-Rufai is given another opportunity to get into power, it would do worse than when he was a governor. Posting on X, the human rights lawyer said El-Rufai deserved his current oppression because he was worse to critics while in office as governor. He wrote, and I quote, "El-Rufai is an unrepentant tyrant and oppressor. If given another opportunity to get access to power, he would do worse than he did in the past. Anyone supporting him is an angry cretin and desperate, unprincipled politician who wants to grab power at all cost." During COVID-19, when Sheikh Bello Yabo, an Islamic cleric, criticized him, El-Rufai waited until the eve of Salah and sent police from Kaduna all the way to Sokoto to arrest and detain him. The current oppressor of El-Rufai are nicer to him than he was to his critics. El-Rufai deserves the karma he is getting. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, El-Rufai is an unrepentant tyrant, oppressor, says Deji Adeyanju. Yes, the number to call for comments and contributions to any of the stories read out, any of the news read out to your listening pleasure is 0816 552 4699. 0816 552 4699. Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu urges Nigerians to drop entitlement mentality. And now to the details. Nigerian First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has urged Nigerians to abandon what she described as an entitlement mentality, stressing the need for citizens to embrace responsibility, integrity, and service in their various roles. This was made in a statement recently signed by Senior Special Assistant on Media Busola Kukoyi. The statement said Oluremi Tinubu made the calls while hosting the interfaith breaking of fast, iftar, and Lent for women drawn from different sectors across the country. Speaking during the gathering, the First Lady said the coincidence of the Muslim Ramadan fast and the Christian Lenten season carries an important message for the nation about unity and peaceful coexistence. She said, and I quote, "Today, like I said, is indeed a great day. It is a day that God only made for us to gather together and for women first from different backgrounds. Since the Ramadan fast was announced, the Lenten season began together. It was like God was speaking to us as a nation." She noted that despite attempts forced by some people to create division along religious lines, Nigeria have historically lived together peacefully regardless of the faith. Recently, we know a lot of things have been going on, and people are trying to target towards our religious belief. And we Nigerians, we know the most, or that most of the time that is not the case. Some of us are married to men of different faiths, and we live together among us for many years. Me, almost 40 years, she noted. Drawing from a personal experience, the First Lady referenced our nearly 4 decades of marriage, Bola Tinubu explaining the mutual respect and understanding have helped sustain their relationship. She said, and I quote, "I can tell you, I cannot remember when both of us raised our voices at each other. Maybe not more than twice in 40 years, I can tell you that. So we've been quite mature and respectful about that. And I believe that is the best way to live together." Senator Tinubu also urged Nigerians to abandon what she described as entitlement mentality, stressing that citizens must focus on contributing positively to the society. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu urges Nigerians to drop entitlement mentality. Yes, still on the Daily Post newspaper, they are telling Christians to convert or die. U.S. lawmakers react to deadly attack by terrorists. And now to the details. U.S. Congress Riley M. Moore has reacted to the recent deadly attacks by the Muslim state West African province ISWAP fighters in Adamawa State. terrorists reportedly admitted to kill 27 Christians and burnt at least 10 houses in the attack carried out in February. According to an ex-post by security experts Brad Phillip, the terrorists, while owning up to the deadly attacks, reiterated their call to Nigerian Christians to either pay the jizya tax, convert to Islam, or to be killed, which they described as a fair deal. Reacting, Rep Moore in a post on X lamented that the bloodthirsty assailants are now forcing Christians to convert to Islam or be killed. The lawmaker urged the Nigerian government to immediately step up and address the matter. He wrote, Christians continue to be explicitly targeted for their faith in Nigeria. ISIS West Africa is slaughtering Christians and telling other Christians they must convert or die. In a report to the White House, he made it clear that the increased American support is contingent on the Nigerian government doing more to defend Christians. Now is the time for Abuja to step up. If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Daily Post newspaper with the headline, "They're telling Christians to convert or die. U.S. lawmaker reacts to deadly attack by terrorist." Yes, the program you're onto is in the papers on iPower 102.7 FM. The number to call for comments and contributions is 0816 552 4699. 0816 552 4699. And now to the Nation newspaper. 100 senior lawyers on corruption trial, says EFCC. And now to the details. No fewer than 100 senior lawyers are on trial for corruption-related offences. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC Chairman Inioluwa Adekoya said recently. He spoke in Abuja at the second annual lecture of the Body of Benchers. The event was attended by leading figures in the legal profession. The FCC expressed concerns about the growing involvement of lawyers in financial crimes. He further noted that the anti-graft agency have received multiple petitions against members of the profession. He said, and I quote, "We have had calls to investigate quite a number of senior members of the bar." Olukoyede, a lawyer, added that investigation uncovered offences ranging from diversion of clients' funds to aid in money laundering. He said, and I quote, "Before I came here, I checked our database and discovered we have about 100 senior members of the bar that we are prosecuting at the moment for those offences. It has become very necessary for us to work together." If that story aligns with your interest, it is on the Nation newspaper with the headline, "100 senior lawyers on corruption trial," says EFCC chair. Yes, still on the Nation newspaper, Tinubu campaign body gives 11 million naira rise as Ramadan gifts. And now to the details. Director General and founder of Tinubu Diko Assure 2027, Omar Yayad, represented by Katsina State Coordinator Khalil Aminu, and members of the State Steering Committee, has handed over 95 bags of rice and 11 million naira cash to All Progressive Congress APC in Katsina State. The distribution includes 5 bags of rice and 500,000 to the 12 wards of Katsina local government, 15 bags of rice and 2 million naira to Katsina local government executives, and 20 bags of rice and 3 million naira to state executives. Media Secretary at Danja local government, Nuruddin Show, who spoke for the group, prayed God to answer their Ramadan prayers. The Nation recorded that the group earlier distributed empowerment tools and materials, including 30,000 naira to each beneficiary, covering the 3 senatorial districts of the state. That story aligns with your interest. It is on the Nation newspaper with the headline, Tinubu campaign body gives 11 million naira rise as Ramadan gifts. Yes, still on the Nation newspaper, youth unemployment fueling banditry, terrorism. And now to the details. Chief Imam of Lekki Central Mosque, Dr. Ridwan Jamil, has called on government to create more jobs for youths, noting an idle youth is a devil's workshop. Dr. Jamil spoke at the Ramadan Dawah workshop organized by Lekki Muslim Ummah, Islam Youth and Social Development. The chief imam said the youth is the future of the country, saying everything must be done to encourage them, provide them with opportunities to excel and contribute to societal development. According to him, the youth between 18 and 40 have the energy and strength to make things happen. He further advised that the energy should be directed to nations building. He said, and I quote, what obtains in a society is like a moral decadence and all sorts of social vices that are often found among youths. We can see this is a manifestation of youths abandoning their responsibilities in the society, and that should be respected if youths are not well raised and they are not well mentored. That is why we thought it's important to have this key kind of program whereby we have resource people and scholars who can talk to the youths to guide them, to mentor them, because if they are not well mentored, well raised, well informed, they will be defamed because they are open to so many challenges. They are at a stage in life where they cannot make firm decisions about some things, so they need to be guided so they can be useful for Islamic propagation and societal development. If that's the real answer with your interest, it is on the Nation newspaper with the headline, Youth Employment Fueling Banditry and Terrorism. Yes, the program you're onto is in the papers on no other station but iPower 102.7 FM. The time has come for us to call it a wrap on the program this morning. We hope this review has kept you informed of what is making rounds around the papers this morning. And we hope you continue listening to iPower 102.7 FM for endless list of programs coming your way shortly. Until next time, I am Inioluwa Adekoya. Have a wonderful day and have a wonderful weekend.
How far FM